Hi guys, welcome to your everyday feel good flow. So today we'll begin at the back of your mat, feet hip distance apart, and placing your hands where you feel comfortable. Starting the practice with the breath, taking in a deep inhale through your nose, and then exhaling through your mouth. With every inhale, allowing the breath to expand your lungs, and then exhaling, letting it all go. 2 more times like this. And then on an exhale, begin to tuck the chin and vertebrae by vertebrae, roll yourself down all the way until your hands reach the mat. Once your hands reach the mat, inhale here, exhale, bring your hands to your knees, inhale to lower. Pause here, feeling a sensation down the back of your legs. And then on an exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat, pushing your heels into your mat and coming into a downward dog. Holding here and enjoying this beautiful inversion stretch, allowing the blood to rush to your head. On an exhale, come up high on the toes and roll yourself forward, shoulders underneath the wrists, and hold here for a breath in plank position. On an exhale, bend through the elbows, lifting the chest up, expanding the shoulders down and back. Feet are lengthened to the back of your mat, and gaze is looking up towards the sky. Hold here in your chaturanga for 2 breaths. And then on an exhale, push the hips back to be in line with your knees and bring the hands just underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Let's begin with some cat-cows. Inhaling to prepare and arching the back. Gaze is looking up towards the sky, and then exhaling, rounding the back. Head is tucked between your arms. Keep moving with this rhythm, linking the breath with the movement to allow any tension released from the lower back, the spine, the shoulders, creating more space and length to move freely. And as we're moving in these cat-cows, just notice how you feel. If there are any aches or tension. And as we expand through the spine, maybe sending the breath there. 2 more times just like this. And then on an exhale, bring your right leg gently across your body and your left leg long. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, hands are planted on the mat, and gaze is neutral. Coming into a pigeon on your right side. Holding here to open up through the hips, lengthen through your thighs. Continue to breathe here for 2 more breaths. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, walking your hands forward and allowing your upper body to fold over your right leg. And on an exhale, slowly make your way up and bring your left leg up to meet your right leg, coming to sit on your heels with your toes on the mat. Bring your hands to your thighs and with a straight back, breathe here. Centering yourself in this moment. And then on an exhale, walk your hands back, ensuring that your fingers are facing your toes, arms are shoulder width apart, and gaze is looking up towards the sky. Coming into a wrist stretch, chest stretch, and allowing the spine to expand in this pose. And then on an exhale, push into your hands and slowly walk your hands back up to center. Uncross your legs and bring your right leg long and your left leg across your body. Hands are shoulder width apart, planted on the mat, and gaze is neutral. Coming into a pigeon on the other side. Finding where you feel comfortable in this position and just holding here for 2 more breaths. If you'd like to deepen the stretch in your left thigh, walk your hands forward and fold your upper body across your left leg. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then on an exhale, walk your hands back up to your thighs. Come up high on your knees and extend your back legs long. Spine is straight and shoulders are rolled down and back. Bring your hands to your lower back, ensuring that your fingers are facing the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale. Slowly begin to tilt your upper body towards the back of your mat and hold where you feel comfortable, allowing us to expand through our chest in this pose. Lengthen the body long and stretch out our thighs. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, bringing your hands to the soles of your feet and holding here. Continue to breathe in this pose. And then on an exhale, push into your hands and lift yourself all the way up, coming back to center. Slowly making your way back up and finding your breath. And then on an exhale, begin to lengthen your arms forward. Bring your knees at hip distance apart and stretch through the upper body, coming into a happy puppy pose. Holding here as we lengthen through the spine, stretch the hips, connect with the breath, and then on an exhale, walk your hands back up, press through your heels and lift your hips up towards the sky, coming into a downward dog. Hold here for 2 breaths. Feeling the sensation in your arms, in your legs, and just noticing how you feel. On an exhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Bend at the knee, coming into a 3-legged dog. Hold here for a breath, and then on an exhale, circle your right leg up and over to the front of your mat. Toes are pointed towards the front of your mat, and your back toes are facing the side of your mat. And then on an exhale, lift your arms up as though you had wings and you're preparing to fly. And then slowly begin to tilt your right fingers down to your right toes, lifting your left fingers up towards the sky. Breathe here as we come into a triangle pose, stretching out the side body and opening up through the hips. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, circle your left arm all the way back to meet your left leg and allow your right arm to windmill over your head. Pause here for 2 breaths as we open up through the side body. If you'd like to deepen the stretch in your calf, lifting up your right toes towards the sky. And then on an exhale, dipping your right fingers back down towards your right toes and your left arm up towards the sky. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, windmill your right arm up and over your head, bringing your left arm to touch your left leg and hold here. There's the option to lift up your right toes if you'd like to deepen the stretch in your right leg one last time. And then on an exhale, circle yourself all the way up to the top of your mat. Palms are facing forward and spine is long as we come into a mountain pose. Take one breath here to center and ground. And then on an exhale, tuck from the chin and begin to roll down towards the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your hands reach the mat. Once here, inhale, and then on an exhale, bring your hands to your knees, coming into a forward fold. And then on an exhale, melt your hands back down towards the mat. Lengthen your legs towards the back of your mat and come into a downward dog. Stay here for a breath, pushing the heels towards the mat. Head is in line with the spine. And then on an exhale, circle your left leg up towards the sky. Bend through the knee, coming into a 3-legged dog. Hold here as we open up through the hips. And then on an exhale, circle your left leg all the way up to the top of your mat. Toes are facing the top of the mat, and your right toes are facing the side of the mat. Inhale here, bringing your arms out wide like a bird spreads its wings. And then on an exhale, bring your left hand next to your left foot and your right arm up towards the sky. Gaze is looking up towards your right hand and hips are pushed back in line with one another. Hold here for 2 breaths as we open up through the side body and the hips. Stretching out your arms as far as you can. That feels comfortable for you. Take one more deep inhale here. And then on an exhale, windmill your left arm up overhead, bringing your right hand to touch your right leg. And hold here. As you continue to breathe, maybe you'd like to lift up your left foot, allowing your left toes to face towards the sky. Deepening the stretch in our left leg. And then on an exhale, circle your left hand all the way down to your left foot and hold here. Bringing the right arm up towards the sky. Take 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, windmill your right hand back towards your right leg and bring your left arm up overhead one last time. Breathe here as we stretch out the side body. There is the option to deepen the stretch in your left leg one last time by lifting up the toes towards the sky and balancing on your heel. And then on an exhale, Bring your right leg towards the front of your mat to meet your left foot. Feet are hip distance apart and palms are facing forward. Releasing any tension from your shoulders as we roll your shoulders down and back. Pause here for a breath. And then on an exhale, begin to tilt from your head, upper back, mid back, and lower back until your hands reach the mat. Hold here for a breath. And then on an exhale, bring your hands towards your knees, coming into a halfway lift. Hold here as we deepen the sensation down the back of your legs. And then exhale, fold towards the mat. Bring your toes to face the side of your mat and bring your knees away from one another. Lower your hips down towards the mat and bring your hands into a prayer position, elbows pushing against the knees, coming into a yogi squat. Spine is long and crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. Take 2 breaths here as we open up through the hips. And then on an exhale, gently lower your hips down towards the mat. Bring your feet at hip distance apart to plant on the mat. And then on an exhale, gently from your hips, roll yourself down towards the mat. Neck and head is the last to reach the mat. Bring your feet in towards your hips at hip distance apart. Inhale here, and then exhale, roll up from your hips, mid-back, lower back, coming into a bridge. And then exhale, reverse the roll, coming down from your shoulders, mid-back and hips until your back is flat on the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale, repeat this motion, lifting up into a bridge, linking the breath with the movement. Keep moving in a way that feels right for you for 2 more breaths. And then on your last breath, hold in your bridge. Take 2 more rounds of breath and then lower all the way back down towards the mat. Turn on your side and lift yourself up into a seated position with your legs crossed. And then on an exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale here, and then exhale. Circle your arms towards the center of your mat, palms are touching. And then exhale, open up through the arms and the back, expanding through the chest. And then inhale to round through the back, bringing the palms and the forearms to touch. And then exhale, open up through the arms, pointing the chest up towards the sky. Keep moving with this rhythm, linking the breath with the movement. Stay here for 2 more breaths, opening up through the chest, allowing the lungs to expand, to allow us to breathe deeply. And then on your last breath, bring your arms back down by your side. Inhale here, and then exhale, circle the arms up overhead. And then lower your left hand down towards the mat and circle your right arm up overhead, coming into a side body stretch. Breathe here as we expand through the body. And then on an exhale, switch sides, bringing the left arm up overhead and holding here, bending through the right elbow to allow more space and movement in your left side body, and then switch sides. on your last breath, bring your arms back down by your side. Inhale here, and then windmill the arms up overhead and then back down. Repeat this 2 more times before we clasp the palms at the top and lower down to heart center. And thanking your body for doing all that it does for you every day. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.